Now we are happy to get our chief guest, Sri Suresh Prabhuji, Honorable Member of Parliament. Sir, just before you join, we have made your long introduction about yourself and your activity and your involvement in both academic, administration, and your political journey, sir. And sir, this is a one-day webinar on bamboo for rural livelihood, bamboo for rural livelihood, global to local perspective. And this is from National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Northeastern Regional Center. We are looking after 8 northeastern states and also working in the neighboring countries. And we are happy to inform you that with us we have Director Northeastern Regional Center, Professor Murugesan Ramasamy, to welcome you. And also we just now we finished the address by Professor Lu, DDE, INBAR, Beijing, China. So we are happy to inform you that 577 people from 54 countries, they are registered to listen this webinar. With this background, to ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to welcome Sri Suresh Prabhuji, Honorable Member of Parliament, to address the gathering as a chief guest. Sir, please.
Cool. Let me first of all thank the organizers for organizing program on such an important issue, and particularly Professor Jain Chaudhary for bringing together very different stakeholders on one common platform. INBAR, India Bamboo Forum are the partners with the National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayat Raj, and also the various stakeholders who are supposed to be involved in this. The theme of this conference is extremely useful. The theme is focused on bamboo for rural development. As we all know, just 1 minute, please. Hello, Professor, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. But you are, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
The theme of this conference is extremely important as to how we can use bamboo for rural development. How we can use bamboo as a source for livelihood. Bamboo has been grown in different parts of India by the farmers for many, many years. The crop also grows on its own. Some have planted it, some there is a natural growth. The beauty of the crop is that it regenerates extremely fast. And because it is already, the farmers are aware about how to grow bamboo, it's not something that farmers have to be taught about the use of bamboo, the necessity of planting bamboo. What is important is how we use bamboo as the theme of this conference as a source of livelihood. To provide livelihood and therefore better value for the effort that farmers put in planting bamboo, we must bring the off-farm linkages to the farm sector. The farmers plant it on the farm, But unless there's a demand for bamboo, how will the farmer get a better price? It's a normal demand supply question. If the demand is more, obviously supply can also increase in this case. Bamboo plantation can happen on a larger scale. But if the demand increases, obviously the price for bamboo will go up. And the demand should increase from such sectors where those going to use that bamboo will also do some value-added products. If the bamboo is sold in its primary form and there is nothing else to be happening, like normally when the bamboo is used without doing value addition, then farmer will not get price, and over a period of time, bamboo plantation can also go down. In fact, there is a direct relationship between bamboo plantation going down and deforestation that happens. If the bamboo plantation increases, there's a very good chance that demand for such products which are used in furniture and everything else, and they will not use necessarily present furniture makers. The present users of wood for various purposes, they may not prefer going for deforestation, possible. Not necessarily, but possible. You can substitute the demand for wood by bamboo. And therefore, bamboo plantation has to go up, which to prevent deforestation. And at the same time, the value addition for bamboo product must happen. Now, when I said deforestation and bamboo, where the link is also, bamboo is not coming from the timber variety family. It's a grass variety. So when you deforest, you are actually cutting like you are cutting a grass. There is no ban in the country or anywhere in the world to stop cutting grass. So now, where is the demand for bamboo value addition is going to come from? In fact, you can think about doing thousands of products out of bamboo. For edible purposes, like bamboo shoot, and you can make again thousands of edible products from the bamboo shoot itself, and non-edible purposes. I just mentioned furniture. You can make all kinds of furniture from bamboo. You can make all kinds of different varieties from bamboo, which can even be displayed in the house. It can be different kind of, even when you are using, say for example, a carry bag. You can make carry bag from bamboo. We can make buildings out of bamboo. And that all is well known, and I am sure there will be many more will join in doing this. I'll just recount with you my personal experience with the journey of bamboo in India. I was the Minister for Environment and Forest. And then my obvious choice, obvious worry, a preoccupation as the Forest Minister of India would be, how do we prevent deforestation? How do we stop deforestation? So we're working on many ideas, joint forest management and many others. Increasing forest cover has to be one of the priority for India. While doing all that, we said, why not look at alternate to the timber? And that's how the bamboo idea came in. Then I went to the cabinet. The cabinet was headed by Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And we agreed to be member of INBAR, 1998. Then we launched a bamboo program. Then it was shifted from Environment Ministry to Agriculture Ministry, rightly so. I remember there was one Mr. Tiwari in the Planning Commission who was also working with me. And Vajpayee ji supported it fully. I remember on the 5th of June, the World Environment Day, when he came as a chief guest, I had presented him the bamboo sapling as a token of our love and affection, obviously, but also the symbol of how bamboo is now going to be the priority for the Ministry of Environment and Forest. And then I used to continuously call meeting, even that capacity as Environment Forest Minister, of all the export trading houses, all the designers, and many others to work on these issues. So that's how the journey of bamboo started. And I went to now particularly, I'm very happy that Professor Jayant Chaudhary has organized it for the Northeast. I went to each and every state in the Northeast, and most of the time my wife used to be with me, to convince the people there to launch a bamboo program. Many of them fully supported it, all the chief ministers. I used to also meet all other stakeholders on my visit to Northeast, and I think at that time I was probably the most frequent visitor to the Northeast from Delhi. And today, Northeast is so green, so clean, so beautiful, so pristine. It's one of the hotspots of biodiversity, the Eastern Himalayas, which is Northeast. We have to maintain biodiversity, but we have to also create employment. We have to do conservation of natural resources, but also offer opportunities to people for economic development. All of that can happen through bamboo. This is one crop which has the ability to transform the economies of Northeast, but also provide tremendous growth into the natural beauty of the country and that part of the world particularly. So let us use this as an important forum. I'm very happy that India Bamboo Forum is now working to take that idea of bamboo as a source of transformation forward. We are now working in a way that all stakeholders in bamboo sector are working in India Bamboo Forum. All designers, real estate people, government, both state and central, all agencies that you can think about are there. And I really compliment my colleagues in the India Bamboo Forum, like Mr. Karpe and others, who are really trying to in a way that they can bring bamboo as a source of livelihood for people. And I really congratulate once again Professor Jayant Chaudhary for doing this program on this subject, rightly so for the Northeast. So let me thank you. Initially, there are some technical problems, so I could not join in earlier. Otherwise, I had done more than 800 programs. Each of the program I always joined in before time. So sorry for the technical issues, but I really appreciate this opportunity. I look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. From our side, no, because I'm Dr. Murugesan, I'm from NERC director now. I thank you once again with folded hands, sir, for giving on a great occasion for this bamboo is the basic livelihood for the sustainable livelihood for the grassroots level people. So we know, sir, with all your effort, with all your guidance, definitely we will work together for promoting this technique and technology to build the capacity of in both cultivation to conversion of value. Thank you very much, sir. We definitely will work.
Thank you, Dr. Ramaswamy. I didn't realize I didn't so because your name was not there. But thank you very much. Congratulations, and particularly to you also.
Thank you,
for
sir.
organize this program in such a magnificent way. I'm very sure you will really take it forward. I can see there are going to be many other colleagues of mine from the government of India also coming in, like Dr. Narendra Kumar and others who will be joining in. So let me first, but really appreciate this great opportunity of meeting you all. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Director.
sir.
Thank you very much, Professor.